Back to Adventures in Comics and issue 9 of 12 of the Secret Wars original Marvel Superheroes adventure from the 80s. Assault on Galactus.
Oh boy. And this is like, okay, how is this only 9 out of 12? Because he's somebody you go against for 5 seconds.
Yeah, what are they going to do for the rest? 3 issues of funerals?
It's crazy.
And who is it but Cyclops?
Finally.
Lennon's beard. He says he's worried about Zaji still. He's the only one that cares. He's a character that's helped the heroes but can't speak our language and has no personality.
This was a little unsettling because at first when I saw it, it's like he just has boots and gauntlets on.
Yeah, what's his underwear? Miscolored it a little bit. And he's still recovering from that wound that he received. Jeez.
Right? I mean, what's his name got his arms cut off, and willed it back on by changing back. It's like, get over it.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
So Storm is trying to wield the elements against Galactus. Doesn't do anything.
Nothing.
He's still standing.
Oh, Scott's shocked. Jeebus.
He seemed not to notice. If we cannot so much as gain his attention. Rogue's ready to fly in face first. Get punched.
Boy. And, he's kind of like an omnipotent being. It's like, although he is so zoned in on what he's doing as far as his hunger, that I suppose you could get a little bit of a surprise in on him, but it wouldn't last long.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So they try to fly in, but he has these remotes, like these drone-like self-defense devices that create, I guess, energy fields.
Yeah.
Little boots that shoot out and kick them in the face.
It looks, like little trumpet
Rogue
shapes.
takes another hard hit to the face.
Oh, goodness.
And Magneto uses magnetic rocks. All of these boulders just happen to have just enough magnetic metal in them for him to just throw them around.
Boy.
But they can't get through these just one drone's shields.
And of course, they need to protect the professor, but...
They call it a cosmic fly swatter.
Look at Kurt.
They're saying
Get
like
off
even
of
the
there.
Galactus's little toys are too much for them to handle, let alone the being himself.
Kurt, what are you doing?
He gets flung from the top of it.
He gets turned into lines.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a big explosion. It seems like, have the X-Men perished? That was like a baby nuke. I wonder what happened. They all look pretty upset.
Yeah.
So they're going to go check it out. Meanwhile, Spider-Man and his new duds is accompanying the Avengers and Fantastic Four and the new Spider-Woman to this craft where they can bring the Wasp's body for a decent burial. They don't know that she is actually living.
Oh, that's right.
They've subdued most of the villains in Doom Base. Thor's like, what's wrong? It seems like the gloom of Niflheim hangs in the air about you.
What's so sad, Hulk?
Hulk says, I've had better days. He has really a straight bang line right there.
Say, I just wanted a trim. Poor guy.
If 'tis that you do not fit in these chairs that depresses you, count yourself fortunate. They were made, I think, for insect men, or by trolls for torture.
Is that a nice way of saying, are you feeling fat?
Exactly. It's silly. But it's because he's stuck in between forms. He says, I lost that when I gained the intelligence of my human side, Bruce Banner. And now I'm slowly losing that too. I'm not savage enough or smart enough to be a relevant factor. And Ben's feeling very similarly useless because he's reverted to human form and can't seem to control the change between becoming the Thing and reverting to Ben Grimm. I like these geometric shapes that he's making. And the Human Torch is going to give him a hot foot on the seat of his panties, he says. He says, beat it, Brett.
That's twisted.
He's like, what do I gotta do? I gotta be the Thing. And he's like, whoop, I guess it happened. I like these weird, the little ink splash. That's cool.
Very postmodern.
So now he's gonna crush Human Torch in happiness.
To think that he's flaming on in a plane, even though it's advanced, it's like, really?
It's not safe. And Iron Man is wondering, where did the Spider-Woman come from? Yeah, the new broad. Never cracks a smile. She turned up out of nowhere. Claims she's on her side. I'll keep an eye on her. So they're suspicious. They haven't really fleshed your character out at all, besides being from a suburb of Denver.
Right.
And then he's saying, I wonder if they can tell there's a different guy under the armor, and if I'm holding up to Tony's legacy. He's like, well, ever since Richard souped up this armor, I'm a bad dude.
Stop talking like that,
It's
Rhodey.
like, well, you could see.
If you were paying attention.
Didn't you used to be a different race under there? Like, it's not a problem, but obviously you're a different person completely. You talk different. We can see your skin poking out through the eye holes.
You don't seem to really have a grasp.
Sometimes we can see your teeth, and they look different than the other guy's teeth. You don't have the same teeth. We recognize.
His suit looks really...
He's got his backpack on.
Yeah, it looks really more elementary, not as souped up as...
Well, apparently Reed is improved on. He's found a way to improve on Stark's design, though he said it was impressive.
True.
But they're implying that he made it even better. And meanwhile, Spidey's spazzing out in his new suit, and he's got his web backs. The suit creates its own webs, and if it's living, I don't want to know what that is. It makes its own webs. How could it? I guess Venom does that too, though. He shoots webs, right?
Good point.
Like, I don't know. Carnage, though, doesn't.
No. So...
Who knows?
Does he know what's going on in Spider-Man's mind, so he...
creates symbiote that looks like the web? I don't know.
Yeah.
So they're bickering, and Captain America's like, settle down.
He looks, if I have to go back there...
It's the costume. Somehow it's got built-in web shooters. They fire when I think about it. And he's like, who's got short shorts?
That is so strange. Oh. Listen to me. I sound like a defeatist. I apologize. You certainly seem chipper, considering what we're about to face. They know they're going against Galactus, don't they?
Yeah. He says he has trouble understanding modern art. Who can figure all this ultra-cosmic stuff? Reed's like, could you take this a little more seriously?
It's like, if I have to go over there one more time.
He's pondering the Beyonders' offer to satisfy anybody's wishes, and kind of recapping how we got here, everybody that's involved in this story. And Captain America's like, watch where you're driving.
Holy crap.
We've been hit.
Whoa.
We're in for a crash landing. But who comes to save the day? No other than Colossus, who is still in agony because of that side wound, but he had enough strength to ease them down onto the ground.
Yeah, in their ship, yeah.
And they see that Galactus is sending out power tendrils to rip the planet apart. That's what hit them and caused them to crash. So he's going to reduce it to basic biospheric energy. The Earth becomes that energy.
Suck up the energy.
Battle world, rather, not the Earth.
Let's
Part
go.
of the Earth. Denver.
Yeah.
Denver's suburb. So they go to confront Galactus, like the cover suggests. And they're like, oh, these little boots that shoot out of the circles are pretty formidable themselves. We'll never make it to Galactus in time.
And he's still working on his truck.
But he's got new radar and in-flight dodging computers, Iron Man, so maybe it is a little souped up.
Yeah, maybe he can get a little
Things
closer.
like, I can throw rocks. We've got a lot of guys that throw rocks already. Iron Man gets a good hit in on the device. Maybe we can win, Reed says. So Cap is like, we've got to press the advantage, but Reed stops him. We must not stop Galactus. Within a frame or two, he's changed his mind. and they're easily repelled anyway. A wave of sheer
Yeah.
force. He's hurling us back like so many leaves in the wind. He's like, we got to regroup and attack. But Reed's saying, no, no, no. Can't you see that we've already damaged his machine? We've done the impossible. That means this fight isn't hopeless. We can win, which is precisely why we must not fight. We must let Galactus win. He's saying, well, if Beyonder will reward anyone with their wish, and we know Galactus wants to end his hunger, maybe we're going to save countless planets in the future. And that's far greater gain than our lives or the people that will die on this planet. So it's more moral to let Galactus win and get his wish, I guess.
Life of the few is...
And then he vanishes. He's summoned to Galactus's ship.
Holy
And
cow,
Galactus's
everything's
ship,
gone.
his machine rather, and his being has also been transported. And Cap's like, I don't know, but I'm open for suggestions.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, in the solar system-sized construct that is the homeworld of Galactus, Reed is walking around. He's like, I can't make heads or tails of this stuff.
And look at his
He's got a little
inside, this little...
hologram of what he
Yeah.
wants to build, what he's been working on.
Wow, so it's a living structure. Oh, hello.
And who's sitting at the throne, at the controls? No other than Galactus. I am honored to be acknowledged by Galactus. He gets a vision of the Invisible Woman and Franklin, and she's pregnant. They're expecting a baby, but it hasn't been born yet. Galactus says, nope, not yet. Now listen to me and think. So, who knows what Galactus is going to tell Reed, but meanwhile, Doom is in the maximum security containment inside his Doom fortress.
Oh, boy.
Having been defeated by Galactus or repelled off of his ship, he has an epiphany. He says, I must be free. He has some energy reserves in the heel,
The ankle of his
the ankle
boot.
of his boot.
So it's the
Allows him to
home
escape.
world he needs, but he was in the home world.
And he says, Doom, free us. Doom doesn't have any concerns for these other villains. They even took Doc Ock's sunglasses away.
They did.
But he frees Claw. Claw has some greater use. He's going to dissect Claw. And Claw says, oh, good. So who knows what that means.
Yeah, well, he's made out of sound. So,
I will not give up hope until I find their bodies. Colossus is looking through the rubble, trying to see if the X-Men perished or what, but Cyclops seems to prove that wrong. You're alive.
I
I
reckon
reckon
so. She is so... She's silly. Wow. So Magneto saved them.
Yeah, he's
pulling
looking pretty cool
Earth.
back there.
Yeah, he did the old Hulk. Covered them with some earth.
And Professor X is like, well, it still almost killed us. He's not that impressed.
Right?
So they need to meet up with Cap and the Avengers and Fantastic Four. Cap says, looks like they survived after all. And Spider-Man's like, making another arrow? One last one with Galactus' name on it. Wouldn't that be the great if that's the thing
Oh
that
my
took him out?
And it
It's
was an
Hawkeye's
ordinary,
arrow.
just simple little arrow.
Hit him in the Achilles heel. Saji's awake, and Colossus is so thrilled, but she rushes over to Johnny instead.
That Johnny.
And he brushes her off. He's like, I got more important stuff going on.
Boy. Well, it is true. I mean, Colossus, although, you know, when you think about Colossus and he's dating Kitty Pryde, they're both teenagers. But you kind of think of Colossus as being older because he was there first.
Yeah.
And this is just another way to let you know that, yeah, he's still a young boy. You know, he's not even really, I think, the same age as Johnny.
I don't think so, because Johnny went to college pretty early in the Fantastic Four's career.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Listen up, ladies and germs.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense not to
Hello,
engage.
everybody. Let's see who comes. Who is it? But Reed is back. And he said, well, they had tea. So he's going to say, he told me that I was a force of the universe just as he is, that I'm a universal champion of life just as he is an instrument of death. And he showed me Sue and Franklin. And the kid? Well, Sue hasn't delivered yet. She looked fine, but he didn't say much about the baby. So he says, well, we're with you, whatever you say. I don't know what to say. I'm more convinced than ever that it's right to let Galactus do what he must. And if I'm a champion of life, does it not make sense to allow Galactus to slay us so that countless billions will live? Or was he telling me that I must fight to preserve even these relatively few lives here? I just don't know. It's hard to interpret, I guess.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's like, you guys suck. You're just kidding. You're just afraid to fight.
Quitters! Wow.
But then Galactus reappears with his Earth, or his planet rending machine, and it's back on again. All right, listen up. I'm going to fight. The rest of you, come or not, as your conscience dictates, Captain America says, and Hulk's with them. Appears that Captain Marvel and Wasp,
The Avengers
X-Men,
are with them.
are with them.
The X-Men?
And you know, Cap gives them some kudos here, saying, "Hey, it might be mutants, but you come in handy."
Oh goodness!
And Doom is watching the next wave of assault against Galactus, and you see Mjolnir's just bouncing right off of his force field, so they're not making much progress. He's like, the Beyonders portal's open right next to Galactus's solar system-sized world. Perfect. He's got to work quickly, though. I like that close-up on Doom.
Yeah.
So they're in the dissecting room, and he's sliced them into little, like, Play-Doh pieces or something.
That's grim. That's very grim.
And Claw starts reciting Edgar Allan Poe. He says, "May I speak poetry into your tape recorder?" Because Claw says something about, like, oh, you must record everything. And Doom's like, yes, we must document everything, Doom must say. It's like he's got tape recorders going all the time. So Galactus is fighting more directly without the drones now, but Spider-Man thinks it's a good sign, but who knows? They're easily repelled.
Yeah.
Maybe he is weakening, but he's still no pushover.
Ooh.
Hulk's getting sick of this. He's going to smash him once and for all, but he takes a eye blast, direct hit.
Ooh.
And before Galactus can finish the Hulk, Johnny and the Thing are trying to distract Galactus, chipping away at the cliff face and blasting him with fire.
Well, thinking that getting rid of that machine may slow him down, if, not being able to take him on bodily.
And Reed says, Galactus used enormous amounts of energy transporting his homeworld here, and I'm sure he hasn't fed for months. His power's almost depleted. We can take him. What made you change your mind? I thought about what Galactus said, and I'm still not certain that, in the cosmic scheme of things, what we're doing is right, but he's thinking about his baby. So he's like, you know what? He is going to fight. Spider-Man, get behind him. What's Spider-Man going to do?
Well, he's got webs now.
He can trip him. He almost gets stepped on.
Ooh.
Iron Man and Rogue come in for an assault and get Galactus somewhat on the back heel as Thor, Cyclops, and Iron Man blast at the world-destroying machine that he's created.
Oh, that's a nice view of Reed.
Yeah, Reed stretches a lot in this series. I like seeing him so dynamic. Leave the machine alone. Get Galactus. Capture him. Disable him if you must. He must not escape.
Wow.
Too late. He's getting away. We failed. He's gone. Yeah, we trashed his machine and drove him off. We won, man. Okay. Being an idiot again. Quick to jump to conclusions. Let me explain. Right about now, Galactus is entering his world ship. He'll probably take a moment to look around, his last look. You see, he doesn't need this machine to devour a world. It just makes the energy absorption far more efficient. Under the circumstances, I'm sure he'll make do without. I see it's beginning. So he's going to just, absorb the planet's energy the old-fashioned way. He has multiple ways of consuming a world.
Ooh.
And he can become like an energy field himself.
And there it begins.
And just at that moment, Dr. Doom was waiting.
That's a great panel.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
similar to Iron Man, you can see the humanity behind the armor here.
Yeah.
And he's got all these lens-looking things. So he says, "Now, Claw, these lenses I've fashioned from your body so perfectly." So they're made of sound? I don't know.
Wow.
Solid sound lenses. "Singularly attuned to the energy of the world ship, will steal the power and draw it here to doom." Doom, boom, boom, boom. To be continued. Another cliffhanger for my favorite cover of the series. So stay tuned for issue number 10 for this classic cover as we round out the last quarter of the series here for Secret Wars. So
That's intense.
if you enjoyed watching this, give us a like, comment, and subscribe, and I look forward to the next issue.